I think growing up in LA, I mean, you get such an amazing opportunity to see so many concerts. And for us, we got to, when we were like 8, we got to see amazing bands like Coldplay or The Killers, and bands that were, huge or even small. We get to go to venues like the El Rey and those kind of smaller venues and see amazing bands there. So for us, I think that was such a big part because we got to see so many live shows. I mean, our parents were obviously really cool with taking us, and that was such a, I think, important part of our sound. I mean, we always had music, be such a part of our lives, but to have the live experience in it too was such a gift for us. And I think it's really shown us how to put on a show. If you watch a bunch of shows, you'll learn how to do that yourself, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, festivals and club shows and theater shows, whatever we're playing, they're all so different. And, we try to be, good at adapting where we are, but at the same time, we still want to give, as good of a show to, say a small radio show as we do to a big festival crowd, you know what I mean? So it's kind of tricky, and it's interesting how that works, but, we kind of prepare the same way. We're doing vocal warm-ups in the back, and I have my special tea concoction that I have every day. So we try to be consistent for sure, but especially for the fans, because, whether we're playing to 10 people or 10,000, it's still a big deal. But yeah, all our songs, had their own different starts to all of them. And I mean, Bright, for example, that one's definitely more simple because it's mainly just acoustic guitar and some bass and a little bit of drums. But, that song and all of our songs, it's hard to remember because it's been so long. They all were written 4 years ago, 5 maybe. So, every song, one of us will have an idea usually, and it probably starts with vocals most of the time, and then we bring it to each other. It was as easy as hey, come in my room, I need to show you a song, and then we would all collaborate and finish the song together and edit whatever needed to be edited, and then build off of that, musically. And that song, Bright, didn't need much added to it once all the lyrics and melodies were done, obviously. So, we decided to keep that one simple and, I don't know, I just don't think that it needed too much, and you have to just make that call depending on who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, the cool thing about Michael Ozana, who produced our record, is that, one, that he's a musician also. I mean, that's how he started. He was playing bass for Dr. Dre, which is a pretty great way to start. And he obviously co-wrote a lot of those songs and co-produced a lot of them too. And now he's done so many different things, from Eminem, 50 Cent, to Regina Spektor, and Switchfoot. I mean, he's incredible. And working with him, with the musical background he has, was cool just as, musicians and artists to work with him and talk with him on ideas and different musical kind of things to do. And he'd even grab a guitar or a bass or keyboard, and he'd play things too, and he'd be a part of that process too. So with him, it was a lot that he brought out kind of the natural sound in us, but he also got to kind of just jam with us. He got to work out these different parts. He wasn't just sitting in a room do this. He'd be able to play it, and we were able to all play together. I think that was such a cool experience for us.
We've done so many different kinds of shows and tours, and it definitely is a learning experience always, no matter how far along we are. And being on tour with 21 Pilots right now, it's so cool because they're such a unique band. You know what I mean? There's nobody else like them. You can't even really say, they're kind of like so-and-so. You know what I mean? It's so different, which is amazing, and we obviously love that. And, especially live, they have such, an essence about them that we respect, and I love watching it. You know what I mean? Because I'm just so, intrigued all the time, what the heck, what's going on, so for us, we love watching their show, for example, and getting to learn, how Tyler talks to his crowd, and how they just do their thing, you know what I mean, because we're all doing the same thing, playing music, you know what I mean, but everybody does it different. So I definitely like to take notes, especially from singers, but it's cool. I get to take notes from Josh, the drummer, too. They're both very talented. We've been a band now for 9 years, so obviously there's been all sorts of things that have happened in 9 years, whether it's the iPhone or Spotify, and the thing is for us is that a lot of people do ask us how we feel about streaming and, even people pirating our music or whatever, all the different forms. But, we don't see streaming in the same category as pirating music or having it, necessarily, or stealing it or whatever. Because for us, what we've always been about more than anything is reaching people, and getting to influence people as much as we can. And if that's through Spotify or, Apple Music or, Beats, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many different platforms that we can reach people, and that's what's more important than anything. And of course, we love when people buy our album. Please do it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're not against it. We use Spotify, you know what I mean? And they've been really good to us, and they help us by, giving us more ads or something, you know what I mean? So it's cool because you just got to take advantage of what's going on and what's new around you. And honestly, it's hard not to embrace those things if it's what most people are using, So we just want to reach people, and that's our goal more than anything. And if that means Spotify or streaming, then so be it. Hi, I'm Sydney.
I'm Noah.
And we are Echosmith, and this is Grammy Pro.